Hello viewers, welcome to Face to Face. This is the very first episode of Face to Face in 2015. So let me say Happy New Year to all of you. And I believe that you all had a very great time celebrating New Year 2015. Let me tell you what I did actually to celebrate 2015. I didn't go anywhere. I was sick, I wasn't feeling well, so I had to end up staying in my bedroom doing nothing. But that's okay, even if it sounds ridiculous or maybe pathetic to most of my friends. Because why? Maybe I learned celebrating New Year doesn't necessarily mean that one has to be together with other friends, finding as much happiness as they can get. To me, it can be more like reflecting on what you have done in the last 1 year in order to know what you can do best in the next 1 year. And that's how you can be a better person in your life. And now, talking about life, our life is influenced by a few things. And one of those few things is actually popular culture. And popular culture, as a matter of fact, influences our life very much. And I'm going to be discussing that one with my favorite lecturers, Sir Ajis Chomi. Hi, sir.
Hi.
How are you doing, sir?
All right.
Have a seat, sir.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. So this is actually Sir Chomi, someone who works in BINUSTV University as a lecturer, teaching English department students. The subjects that Sir Chomi teaches are cultures, paragraph writing, speaking
and
listening, and so on, I guess. And besides being a lecturer on BINUS
University,
he is also the best player of Payung Teduh, a group band.
Yep.
What is that? An award Indian winning band?
Yes. I mean, we are actually an award-winning indie band.
In
so
2012.
Wow, so we
2012.
got best album of the year from Majalah Tempo 2 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and then we also won best newcomer of the year by Rolling Stone from the ICEMA Award.
Okay, and
So,
you already know, sir, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I had to end up staying in
Good
my
for you,
bedroom.
maybe.
What about you, sir? I mean, what did you do?
Well,
The same like me, staying alone at your home?
no, I wasn't that pathetic, to be honest. So at first we were invited to perform in Solo.
So a few days before New Year.
Yeah. But the thing is, we've been having too many gigs lately. So apparently, sometimes it reaches to 10 to 15 gigs a month. So you can imagine how
15 gigs
tiring.
a month.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you can imagine how tiring it is, and we got to the point that for the new year we would like to spend the time with our family instead of performing and going somewhere. So yeah, what I did was I was only having a barbecue with the family and my friends at a dojo.
Wow, at dojo.
Yeah.
With your family, so it means like your mother also
Yeah.
came there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dojo.
Dojo.
Why not at home, sir? I mean, in
Well,
Kijang, somewhere in Kijang.
Well, we chose the place to be the dojo because I think it's nice, and then we could go to the rooftop and celebrate and see the fireworks there. So yeah, it was a nice feeling. It was a nice time.
And didn't you play a game before? Because you were a hardcore, right?
Yeah, I've just bought so many video games for the PlayStation 3. I was about to play. I was about to buy the PS4, but I don't see many exclusive games for PS4, so I still just stick to PS3 for now.
Wow.
Maybe later, because video gaming has been my passion since I was a kid. My dad bought me video games since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So yeah, that's how he raised me.
And how often
by
do you
leaving
play-
me alone and let me to play video games
And
all
how
the
often
time.
do you play games, sir? I mean,
At least I spend at least 2 or 3 hours a day. I mean, it's better than what I used to have back in when I was still a student. Maybe back when I was still a student, I could read for like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, but today, because I'm a working man, and sometimes I play music with the band. I also train
so you
martial
have to
arts.
reduce the amount of playing
Exactly,
games.
but
Wow.
still I have to spend some time a little bit.
You can't live without games, I mean, sir. Huh?
Yeah.
Any reason why you are so fond of games? Is it just because you feel like being challenged, or you aim something? I mean, you have certain goals.
I remember that there's a saying that gamers live 1,000 lives. That means we lived 1,000 characters,
Wow.
so we can explore the stories, we can learn about the conflict, the battle that they struggle with each other, and so on.
So I assume that the games that you like to play are adventures.
Pretty much, yeah. I rarely play RPG games or role-playing games, or I prefer action or adventure or stealthily games, or like spy games or ninja games and so on.
Oh, yeah. And now, what are you up to, sir? I mean, anything new in your life?
we're actually, the band is preparing its third album.
Third album.
Yes.
How many songs?
We have recorded 8 songs, and I'm not sure, either we're going to add 2 more to get 10 songs, or we're just gonna stick with that 8 songs and then release it to the public. Hopefully, we will release it in the first quarter of 2015.
So 8 songs.
Yes.
Did you guys, 4 of you? How many of you actually?
4. There are 4 of us.
You.
Yeah.
Did 4 of you make the songs, or like probably you yourself made 1 song, 2 songs
Actually,
on your own?
Actually, it's just my singer.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a very talented songwriter.
The lyric, everything.
Yeah, the music and the lyric, and he's a very talented songwriter, especially for the genre of Payung Teduh. I'm actually what is it? I play black metal and hardcore music, and those trashy stuff. So if I were to write songs, it would be way different one. It wouldn't be Payung Teduh, maybe Payung Hitam or Payung.
And what is the name of the instrument that you play, sir?
I play the double bass. Some people call it upright bass or contra bass, but yeah, double bass.
So double bass.
Yeah, the big one.
How often do you play double bass, apart from performing?
Well, here's the thing. I rarely get the time to train anymore at home because all the equipments or all the gears or the instruments are all placed in one in our headquarters, which is in Depok. Is where our crews and managers live. So I don't have to, whenever I have to perform, I don't have to carry my instrument by myself in my car. I can just go to the venue and perform because everything is already prepared by my manager.
And now, so my question:
Yes.
Have you ever felt a moment when you feel like you are not doing your best playing the double bass?
The double bass,
because you haven't practiced for quite a long time, I guess.
Well, fortunately, because we used to rehearse a lot back when we were still staying in.
But
Depok.
nowadays, no longer.
Yeah, but well, so far I can cope with it.
What are the reasons?
Well, I mean, now everyone lives apart from each other,
Wow.
My singer lives in Depok, and my drummer lives in Bogor,
Wow.
and my guitar he lives in Bekasi, and I live in Manggisan near Binus. So we rarely have time to rehearse or train with each other. So yeah, I mean, well, so far we can still cope with it. We can still handle it. So it's not a problem.
But every one of you used to live together in Jakarta before, or
in Depok.
Wow.
When I was still a
because you
student.
were in UI before, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So yeah, but that was the old days.
Wow. And what is that, sir? So third album, so 8 songs. How many copies?
Well, let me think. Well, usually just produce 1,000 copies first, but then we're going to extend it to, like, I don't know, maybe 2,000, 3,000. It's up to us later on. What matters for now is for us to finish the album first, and then release it to the public, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
And is there any spoiler? I mean, the title of the songs, no?
Well,
or would you mind telling us one of the songs, the title?
Well, we've been playing some of the new songs lately, and they're also available on YouTube. So it's not secret anymore, and people have already singing the song. So the titles are like Kerinduan, and then Puan Bermain Hujan, Mari Bercerita, and so on. So
are all of them about love? Or
no. we don't talk love as in what you see on TV. I mean, our lyrics are. I would say that our lyrics are way more poetic than songs that you see on TV. So yeah, it's not just. I don't think it's about love. So I think it's something else. It's beyond love.
Oh, beyond love.
Yeah.
So it's like motivating people?
Well, you should see by yourself later.
Okay. And in the second segment, sir, we are going to be talking about popular culture, sir.
Yes,
so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Welcome back with us on Face to Face, your favorite talk show on BINUSTV with me, Alessandro, as your host, and Sir Ajis Chomi as our special guest in this episode. Yeah. Now, sir, as our topic is about popular culture, I want to know what is meant by popular culture in your opinion, sir?
Well, one of the definitions of popular culture is culture produced for mass consumption. It is highly related to the mass media, so everything that is the mass media portrays or show is more or less popular culture. For example, like Michael Jackson or Barack Obama or even Jokowi is also a popular culture icon. Yeah.
On the screen. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, and the magazines, everything is popular culture. So, it is, like I said, is highly affects our life because people talk about it every time, every day. People talk about the latest TV shows, latest novels, comic books, video games. What else? Latest sports event and so on. Magic, almost everything. I mean, what matters is whenever it is shown by the media and it reaches the masses, it is probably a popular culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anything on the media?
Yes.
Newspaper, magazine, anything,
everything
on television?
Yes, exactly. Because one of the ways to make something popular is to have a tool, to have it distributed by a tool that can reach the masses, which is the media, right?
Wow.
Right. So
we have to be careful with popular culture because the message that we want. I mean, for example, if it is positive, it will be very good. If it is bad, then
it will be very bad.
Dangerous.
Exactly.
To people. Not to mention that young generations are easily influenced by what they see.
Yes. So we have this term called the media literacy. So media literacy means sometimes people are not really mature enough to be able to know what is good or what is not for them to watch or to see. Sometimes they get, they watch something that is not good, or sometimes it is not there to be watched yet. So so you have to be careful in what to show. So that's why we have this committee, right? We have the broadcasting committee to censor everything that is.
So there have to be some restrictions or maybe rules.
Exactly.
Okay. And how come you are so interested in learning culture, by the way, sir?
Well, like I said before in the previous segment, my dad raised me with video games, with comic books, and those are popular, right? I even went to watch Doraemon, the Stand By Me, last weekend, probably.
That is also popular culture.
That's also popular culture.
The message,
yes.
Right?
And the thing about it is, even after 20 years after watching it, in the cinema, when I watched it last week, I cried.
Oh, you
like a baby.
How come, man?
Because it can really affect us because we. Here's the thing about Doraemon.
Wow, we're talking about Doraemon now.
Boys our age, especially those who read the comic, we represent ourselves as Nobita. Nobita is a loser. He's no good. I mean, he has no talent. He is dumb. But he is a kind-hearted person, so everyone has a sympathy for him. Sorry, and so somehow we think of Nobita as ourselves. So
we position ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Because usually you read the comic when you're like maybe in elementary school or maybe in junior high school, where you actually don't really know anything, right? You're stupid. You're bad at sports. So Nobita is you. So that's why sometimes we can relate ourselves to characters.
So personally, what message did you receive from Doraemon's movie?
I would say that at least even though Nobita is a very spoiled boy, but at least he tried to be independent. He tried to be to stand up for himself. Although he finally succeeded. But still, Doraemon still accompanied him at the end, and they become best friends forever.
So that's a positive message.
Yes.
So I think this is the way popular culture influences people. If the message were negative, then people would be influenced in a way that we don't.
People can get depressed. People can maybe commit suicide, or people don't have any motivation to do anything. But if you here's the thing about the Japanese comic books, or I would say that. Imagine Japan, which was actually destroyed by the World War, but they produce comic books and then they motivate their citizens through comic books to be good at sports, to be really to be productive, and they did it.
Wow.
So that's one example of how popular culture can affect ourselves. Or maybe if we talk about Michael Jackson, who could sing really beautifully. So yeah, they can motivate you in any way they can. So that's what makes it really important. And don't forget that popular culture really it makes money.
Wow.
Like what I'm doing now with the band. I mean, we have like 10 or 15 gigs a month. So well, alhamdulillah, we make good money for ourselves. You know, from just performing in places, everything is being paid for, and then yeah, we're living a good life.
But I personally see that we have to be careful with movies produced, because if the message are not positive, then children who watch it, the characters can be influenced.
Yes, exactly. So that's why we need to be careful also.
And I want to know, sir, in your opinion, how popular culture influences our communication? What do you mean by communication? Is it the ability to communicate?
Well, sure, that's one thing. But what matters the most is because popular culture is, like I said, really related to the mass media, right?
Yeah.
And mass media communicates everything to the people. So let's say we can get news like an instant because of Twitter, because of Facebook, because of, let's say, detik.com and so on. Everything can be get in instant. Every news and every updates. So it really highly affects our communication.
Yeah.
You can talk about yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm eating French fries now, which is really silly, but and still people will still give a like or give a comment and so on. So that's also, not talking about the internet trends that we have, the Facebook, the Twitter, and so on, is also a kind of popular culture. So yeah, there you go.
Probably someone's communication can be influenced when he or she reads a newspaper or maybe a magazine whose content is not positive, whose content is bad. Not to mention that, the way the magazine communicates, for example, the language, the structures are bad, then the person,
yes, they can criticize
his ability,
them. Yeah, they can criticize this is a really bad writing, so you guys should learn more, maybe.
What about the economy, sir? How is economy influenced by popular culture?
Well, like I said,
but before you continue, sir, what do you mean by economy here? What is it?
Well, popular culture is a multi-million-dollar business. You know? I'm sure you know about the Hollywood, the comic books, the video games, the TV shows, even the Bollywood, even our Indonesian, let's say, sinetron or Indonesian movies. Everything involves money. And hopefully it can bring profit, right? Although not all of them can bring profit. Sometimes some shows fail or some shows are stopped before they reach the end of the season. But it's a multi-million-dollar business. In a small scale, yeah, even in music or musicians, they get paid in dollars, right? Especially, let's say, international superstars, they get paid in dollars. So they can just live by being a musician themselves, and that's it. So it's good for the economy.
But you personally, sir, do you feel that your ability to communicate is influenced by popular culture or not, sir? If yes, or maybe if no, then tell us how it influences you.
Well, here's the thing. There's research, I think in Singapore, saying that so they did a study to a group of students in which they showed this film series.
Sorry, sir, what level of students? Elementary?
I think it's beginner probably. Yeah, but the idea is the students, this group of students, they watch Friends, the film series, the comedy one, for like maybe 3 months and so on. And after that, after they finish watching it, the lecturers assessed their English skills and they significantly improved.
Wow.
Yes, so it is proven that people who watch film series, especially with the subtitles on, it can really affect your English skills, your communication level, and so on.
So it is suggested that when somebody wants to watch a movie, for example, I want to watch a movie whose language is English, it is better for me to
put on the subtitle
rather than...
Yes, if you're, let's say, if you're the beginner or let's say if you're in intermediate level, sure, because when the subtitle is on, it's like reading and listening at the same time.
Wow.
Right? So that's easier for you.
That's the research says. What about you, sir?
Well, I myself...
You feel the same?
Yes.
Wow.
I've been exposed to English since I was a kid because of the video games. And to be honest, my late father didn't really talk much. I mean, we only talk about films and video games. Imagine that your dad talking about video games and films to you almost every day. So
wow.
yeah. So that's how we
like
improve.
when and where probably, sir. I mean, like in.
So let's say maybe there's a new video game
table?
or there's a new film. Or sometimes we watch a film together.
Oh.
So yeah, we talk about it. We talk about the characters and so on. So it really
Wow.
yeah. So that's popular culture to you.
Wow, that's popular culture. And probably I want you to, sir, to explain what is meant by Marxism theory.
Well,
Before we relate it to popular culture.
So Marxism is actually influenced. I mean, it is first it's actually referred to Karl Marx. Karl Marx is a German philosopher. His idea.
No problem, sir. We stop it there.
Okay, sure.
Stay tuned. Welcome back with us on Face to Face. Now let's be back to our discussions here.
Yes, sure.
Marxism theory. What is that, sir?
Yeah.
Continue. Now you can continue, sir.
So it actually refers to Karl Marx, a famous German philosopher. So his idea is to have a classless society.
Classless society.
Yeah, that means there's no the rich,
Wow.
the poor, and the in between.
Everybody is equal.
Everybody is equal, which is a very noble idea. But then again, it's quite difficult to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite impossible. But at least the idea is noble. I mean,
And did he try to realize it or
yeah,
not?
he tried to
Make it happen.
Yes, he tried to make it happen. But
What did he do then, sir?
He asked the workers, the labor union, to be on strike. But then he failed because apparently the labor union complied to their bosses, to the factory. So basically it failed, and but at least some countries still adopt this kind of
Theory. Yeah.
because the idea is
To make everybody equal.
Yes.
No one is richer, no one is.
Yeah, no one is staggeringly rich,
Yeah.
and no one is staggeringly poor. So, well, of course, that sounds like a very ideal place to live in, but yeah, well, the place that we're living now, it's difficult. And I think one country that is at least 50% still applying Marxism is Cuba.
They're trying to make it happen.
Yes,
Wow.
I mean at least 50% the welfare is controlled by the state, and 50% is controlled by the private groups.
Okay, and
Yes.
now, sir, what does it have to do with popular culture?
Yes, so in popular culture, for example, I use Marxism as a theory for my thesis. For example, we can use because the idea of Marx is to criticize capitalism. They criticize Karl Marx criticized people who try to get rich by doing anything that is possible, and he criticized that. And we can, for example, I talk about a music video.
Yeah.
About a song that is criticizing capitalism. So we can use that theory to analyze or to criticize capitalism.
Wow.
Yes, so there you go.
Okay.
Another example is maybe the music industry nowadays is heavily influenced by the media, or let's say the market. The industry think that so this is the market. So I want you guys to make music like this, maybe pop Melayu or so on, or maybe just rock. So well, in reality, like what we do in as indie bands, we just make music based on what we want. But in the industry, sometimes the producers ask you to make a certain kind of genre.
Kind of force.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So that's what makes but it doesn't apply to all industry. I mean, to all companies or music companies. Maybe some music companies do that.
Some particular.
Yeah, some particular music companies do that because they want to make money as much as possible. Yeah,
Wow.
that's one example of using Marxism in a popular culture context.
Now, what about psychoanalysis, sir? Psychoanalysis
Well,
theory. This is the second one.
Psychoanalysis, is Sigmund Freud's theory. Well, basically, we talk about the id, ego, and superego of someone. Let's say you see a movie. Let's say you see a movie. Let's say the character is having trouble with his life. He's traumatized. He's depressed, or he has his own defense mechanism, or he's doing a passive-aggressive thing to counter his troubled life. So yeah, that's one example of psychoanalysis. I myself, I'm more an expert of Marxism.
Marxism?
Because that's what I used for my thesis.
Because and it also relates to music, which is
exactly.
which is a part of your life.
Exactly.
And what about how do comics or maybe video games have something to do with popular culture, sir? Video games or maybe TV shows.
Well, video games. Surprisingly, I learn lots of phrases in English, or maybe I would say that it enhances your English skill.
Wow.
But depends on what games that you play. Let's say if you play games like I don't know,
Fighting.
Fighting. Maybe that's not much to learn from the language aspect.
But adventure.
But if you play like adventure, where you have to
instructions, so many instructions that you have to read.
Exactly. Maybe you have to solve mysteries or puzzles or detective stories and so on.
The instructions are in English. If you want to continue playing the games, you have to read one way or another.
You have to understand. I have experience. A friend of mine, he's playing the new Batman game, the Arkham Origins, and then his English skill, his English level is so. So that's why he often stuck on his playing, because sometimes he calls me, Tom, what should I do here? I'm on this stage. What should I do? What does it say? Tell me. It's like this, blah 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 blah. I don't understand. What does that mean? Oh, that means is you have to do this and this and this. So I see. Let me try. Oh, it happens. Oh, yay! so yeah.
What about you, sir? Do you usually have a dictionary beside you while playing game, or no? You try to guess the meaning based on the context?
Yes, just by the context.
So never
already enough. No.
Never have a dictionary beside you.
No. I think maybe for the I don't know. Maybe for beginners. Maybe they will need it. But for us who are already at this level, I think it's alright.
And do you also like reading comic books or not, sir?
Well, I've been the one reason that I train martial arts now. I've been training martial arts is because I love comic books, especially comic books like Dragon Ball, Kung Fu Boy, or some other comic books, because they teach us to be, to work out, to be able to defend ourselves, to be able to protect the ones that we love, and in case something happens on the street, you know what to do. So that's why I've been learning martial. And most fighters in the world also sometimes they are influenced by reading comic books. So that's one aspect of comic books that I really like, which is that you can use it to, maybe to make yourself healthy, and you know what to do to find your identity.
And music is all. I mean, music to me is just the music. It's about listening to music. It's about the instruments that you play. But in your opinion, sir, how does music, or maybe in what ways is music influential in terms of popular culture?
Yes. So, some music can make people, let's say, a good music can make someone be way relaxed, really relaxed, or maybe it can be really aggressive. Maybe you just listen to music.
Aggressive, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So it depends on the music. If you listen to a hardcore one, maybe you can use it to motivate yourself, or to be aggressive, or to stand up for yourself. Or maybe if you just want to enjoy music in the afternoon, maybe at 4 or 5 while drinking teh tarik or coffee or tea, that is also good for you to make you feel relaxed. I myself, because I am also a performer, playing music is to be able to perform in like 1,000 or 2,000 people is really a privilege, as someone who teaches popular culture and also performs. It's I don't know, maybe it's a dream come true, yeah. Because
Wow.
I remember 2 years, or maybe last year or 2 years ago, we performed in Yogyakarta when we had 3,000 people came to watch us.
3,000.
Exactly.
Wow.
And we were the main act. So
main act.
we didn't think about it when I started playing or training or practicing music. But when we got to the point of our life, what the hell is going on? All of these people came to watch us, and they were like, there were so many of them, and it was really a good feeling. Yeah.
What were you feeling at that time, sir? I mean, you were
Well,
being very appreciated,
Yeah,
or what?
I was touched by the.
But if they're coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially these past few months, we've been having way too many gigs. Alhamdulillah, but too many gigs. And sometimes we get sick a lot. Sometimes we perform when we are sick.
Wow.
So you have to perform, but you are sick. So yeah, that's the sacrifice that you have to do. Because they already invited you to be there, they already paid for everything, and you're sick, you're having a fever, you're having cold, and so on, but you still have to perform. So yeah, that's really an overwhelming experience.
So anything that you want to say, sir, regarding popular culture? Probably a message on how people should be careful with anything they see from media.
Well, I remember.
How can we make the best use of media without having to be negatively influenced by it?
Yes. So
Because this is very, what is it? Very important, right?
Yes, yes.
Very influential.
Yes, I would say that it's better for us to have lots of alternatives on what to watch for. I mean, on what to watch. Let's say instead of just having your local channel, I would suggest that you also subscribe to cable, so that you can get other perspective on how the world is. Maybe you can watch I don't know,
explore
BBC or
positively,
UK. Yeah, exactly.
So we have to explore positive things.
Yeah.
And in the last segment, sir, we are going to be talking again about you and your music career, sir. Yeah.
Yes, let's
So
do
don't
that.
go anywhere. Stay tuned. So hello viewers, this is the last segment of Face to Face in this episode now. Now, sir, I'm going to ask questions about your life or maybe your career now.
Yes, that's good.
Now, you are a lecturer, sir, and also a musician.
Uh-huh.
Some people think that it is much better for us to focus on one thing, because when we are doing one thing, we can give a better focus, full focus.
Yes.
And if you're doing a few things, the efficiency and effectiveness will be significantly reduced. What do you say, sir? Because you are the one who has a few jobs to do, a
Yeah.
few things to do.
Yeah.
So it's like a counter argument towards you.
yes, of what I'm doing. Yes, that is a tough question, to be
Okay.
honest. Well, the reason why I stay working as a lecturer and as a full-timer and also as a musician is because for both of them are my passion, right? And I
And also you are doing martial arts.
Yes.
You teach, right? You do teach.
I'm just an assistant coach of the dojo. Well, so like I said, I don't know. It's sometimes I get tempted to leave one job or just focus on one thing, but I'm afraid that I might get bored if I will just do one or two things. So I don't mind with getting tired,
You don't mind getting tired.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and because the reason why I stay working as a lecturer is because I care about the students, especially BINUS, because I also BINUS alumni, right? So I think of you guys as my juniors. So that way I can supervise you better. I mean, I can motivate you. I can I don't know, maybe inspire you at some point. So that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why I keep working as a lecturer while also being, a high-flying musician. So yeah, there you go. And not to mention because I live nearby the campus. Yeah.
Because some people think that even if you're just a musician, you can get enough money for a living, but you're still being a lecturer. So that's the reason, because you are afraid of getting bored. So,
yes. Well, fortunately, we've made quite a good name for ourselves. So just by living from the band itself is enough. But the thing is, I have already studied to master's degree. I have a master's degree, and if I just leave it and then focus on the music, it will be waste. It will be such a waste. So that's why, and I think that teaching has been always my passion. Also, I used to be a music teacher before
music teacher.
Yes, before I became a lecturer, and even I teach private class. I teach private classes for music.
Like how many students in your class?
10 students usually for the weekend. But nowadays I cannot do that anymore because the schedule is really packed.
Wow!
Right? Because we've been having too many gigs, and not to mention the administrative job or work at the campus. Not to mention teaching also. So and doing martial arts and competing at the same time. Yeah, so far it's good.
And now, sir, if you were to abandon, either being a lecturer or being a musician, so that means if you say you are going to abandon being a lecturer, there is no university you can work on as a lecturer. If you leave or maybe abandon being a musician, there is no way for you to play a music in any group. So you have to leave it. There is no way for you to hold an instrument, any kind of musical instrument. What would you do, sir? Think it over.
Can I just run now?
No, stay here.
No. Well,
I'm sure you can answer it, sir.
Yeah, I'll just explore it my way, okay? Here's the thing. I currently work as a full-timer also, right? I work 9 to 5 as a staff in the campus and as a lecturer, right? If I were to abandon, I would compromise, probably leaving the full-time work job, but still teaching as a part-timer while being a musician, because I can do that, I can do it on the weekdays. No.
What I mean by abandoning a lecturing, lecturing involves teaching.
Yeah.
So no teaching.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one? So lecturing is also teaching.
Exactly.
So when you stop becoming a lecturer, there is no way for you to become a teacher.
Well, that's tough.
Either.
That's tough.
So no teaching. So the question is teaching or playing music, sir?
Well, that is a very tough question, Les. Well, because the essence of me is doing many things together. That's who I am, I can live just by doing one.
But for example, if you had to, sir, if you do not want to answer, you are going to lose both of them. That's the case. For example,
well, I prefer to lose both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Instead of having to choose one of them.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's
how I love both of those two.
That's how you show your love to those two professions.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
And tell me why, sir. Why is it so hard for you to leave teaching? Because some people think that teaching doesn't give you much money. Being a teacher doesn't pay much money. Tell me the key, sir.
Well, as a matter of fact, actually, teaching makes good money, and
yeah, even apart from giving much money, what really makes you like teaching?
Teaching so much. I don't know. I always consider myself as a wise guy. I like teaching people who used to be not knowing of something and then they know about something. So I enjoy that. Even in my martial arts dojo, I'm an assistant coach. So I teach people on how to defend themselves. So I enjoy that. I see
probably the sharing, I guess, sir, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Because when we share, it doesn't reduce what we have. It doesn't decrease the amount of the things that we have.
Yes, exactly.
And probably we have come to the end of our show. And usually I give something to say, I make a statement to say, but this time I give you the chance to say whatever you want to the viewers, probably one statement, and then close it. This is Face to Face. See you next time. That's what you can say, sir.
Yes. So, at this time and age, there is no reason not to make something from nothing. So, what I want you guys to do is just do something that is productive for you and enjoy it. And I'm sure, hopefully, it will bring you good things later in life.
So, Alessandro, Sir Chomi, this is Face to Face. See you next time.